Yirmeyahu, Jeremiah chapter 37. And sovereign Yirmeyahu, son of Yoshiyahu, reigned instead of Konyahu, son of Jehoiakim, whom Nebuchadrezzar, sovereign of Babel, appointed to reign in the land of Yahudah. But neither he nor his servants nor the people of the land had listened to the words of Yahuah, which he spoke by the Nevi Yirmeyahu. And Yirmeyahu the sovereign sent Yahusha, son of Yah, and the Kohen, Zephaniah, son of Maaseiah, to the Nevi Yirmeyahu, saying, Please pray to Yahuah, our Elohim, for us. Now Yirmeyahu was still coming and going among the people, for they had not yet put him in prison. Meanwhile Pharaoh's army had departed from Mitzrayim, and when the Kasdites who were besieging Jerusalem heard news of them, they withdrew from Jerusalem. And the word of Yahuah came to Yirmeyahu the Nevi, saying, Thus said Yahuah, the Elohim of Yisrael, Say this to the sovereign of Yahudah, who sent you to me to inquire of me. See, Pharaoh's army which has come up to help you shall turn back to Mitzrayim, to their own land, and the Kasdites shall return and fight against this city, and take it, and burn it with fire. Thus said Yahuah, Do not deceive yourselves, saying, The Kasdites shall go away from us, for they do not go. For though you had smitten the entire army of the Kasdites who are fighting against you, and there remained only wounded men among them, they would get up, each man in his tent, and burn the city with fire. And it came to be, when the army of the Kasdites left the siege of Jerusalem for fear of Pharaoh's army, that Yirmeyahu went out of Jerusalem to go into the land of Benjamin to receive his portion there in the midst of the people. And it came to be, as he was in the gate of Benjamin, a master of the guard was there, whose name was Uriah, son of Shelemiah, son of Hananiah. And he seized Yirmeyahu the Nevi, saying, You are deserting to the Kasdites. But Yirmeyahu said, It is a lie. I am not deserting to the Kasdites. But he did not listen to him, and Uriah seized Yirmeyahu and brought him to the heads. And the heads were wroth with Yirmeyahu, and smote him, and put him in prison in the house of Johanathan the scribe, for they had made that for a prison. When Yirmeyahu had entered into the dungeon and into the cells, then Yirmeyahu remained there many days. And Yirmeyahu the sovereign sent and took him out. And the sovereign asked him secretly in his house, and said, Is there any word from Yahuah? And Yirmeyahu said, There is. And he said, You are given into the hand of the sovereign of Babel. And Yirmeyahu said to Yirmeyahu the sovereign, What have I sinned against you and against your servants and against this people, that you have put me into prison? Where are the Nevi'im who prophesied to you, saying, The sovereign of Babel is not coming against you or against this land? But now please hear, O my master the sovereign. Please let my petition be accepted before you, and do not make me return to the house of Johanathan the scribe, lest I die there. Yirmeyahu the sovereign then gave orders for Yirmeyahu to be placed in the court of the guard, and that they should give him daily a piece of bread from the baker's street, until all the bread in the city was gone. So Yirmeyahu remained in the court of the guard. Yirmeyahu, Jeremiah chapter 38. And Shephatiah, son of Mattan, and Gedaliahu, son of Pashhur, and Ukel, son of Shelemiyahu, and Pashhur, son of Milkiah, heard the words which Yirmeyahu had spoken to all the people, saying, Thus said Yahuah, He who remains in this city shall die by the sword, by scarcity of food, and by pestilence, but whoever goes over to the Kasdites shall live. And his life shall be as a prize to him, and he shall live. Thus said Yahuah, This city is certainly given into the hand of the sovereign of Babel's army, and he shall take it. Then the head said to the sovereign, Please, let this man be put to death, because he is weakening the hands of the men of battle who are left in this city, and the hands of all the people, by speaking such words to them. For this man does not seek the peace of this people, but the evil. And Yirmeyahu the sovereign said, Look, he is in your hand, for the sovereign is unable to do any matter against you. And they took Yirmeyahu and threw him into the dungeon of Milcayahu, the sovereign's son, which was in the court of the guard. And they let Yirmeyahu down with ropes. And in the dungeon there was no water, but mud. So Yirmeyahu sank in the mud. And Eved-melech the Cushite, one of the eunuchs who was in the sovereign's house, heard that they had put Yirmeyahu in the dungeon, and the sovereign was sitting at the gate of Binyamin. And Eved-melech came from the sovereign's house and spoke to the sovereign, saying, My master the sovereign, these men have done evil in all that they have done to Yirmeyahu the Nevi, whom they have thrown into the dungeon, and he is likely to die from hunger in the place where he is, for there is no more bread in the city. And the sovereign commanded Eved-melech the Cushite, saying, Take 30 men from here with you, and lift Yirmeyahu the Nevi out of the dungeon before he dies. So Eved-melech took the men with him and went into the house of the sovereign under the treasury, and took old clothes and old rags from there, and let them down by ropes into the dungeon to Yirmeyahu. And Eved-melech the Cushite said to Yirmeyahu, Please put these old clothes and rags under your armpits, under the ropes. And Yirmeyahu did so, and they pulled Yirmeyahu up with ropes and lifted him out of the dungeon, and Yirmeyahu remained in the court of the guard. Then Zidkiyahu the sovereign sent and had Yirmeyahu the Nevi brought to him at the third entrance of the house of Yahuah. And the sovereign said to Yirmeyahu, I am asking you a matter, do not hide a matter from me. And Yirmeyahu said to Zidkiyahu, If I declare it to you, shall you not put me to death? And if I give you advice, you shall not listen to me. But Zidkiyahu the sovereign swore secretly to Yirmeyahu, saying, As Yahuah lives, who made us this life, I do not put you to death, nor do I give you into the hand of these men who seek your life. And Yirmeyahu said to Zidkiyahu, Thus said Yahuah, the Elohim of hosts, the Elohim of Yisrael, If you do indeed surrender to the heads of the sovereign of Babel, then your being shall live, and this city not be burned with fire, and you and your house shall live. But if you do not surrender to the heads of the sovereign of Babel, then this city shall be given into the hand of the Casdites, and they shall burn it with fire, and you shall not escape from their hand. Then Zidkiyahu the sovereign said to Yirmeyahu, I am afraid of the Yehudim who have gone over to the Casdites, lest they give me into their hand, and they maltreat me. But Yirmeyahu said, They shall not hand you over. Please obey the voice of Yahuah, which I speak to you, and let it be well with you, and your life be spared. But if you refuse to surrender, this is the word that Yahuah has shown me. Then, see, all the women who are left in the sovereign of Yahudah's house shall be surrendered to the heads of the sovereign of Babel, and see, they are saying, Your close friends have provoked you and prevailed against you. Your feet have sunk in the mire, they have turned away again. And they are going to surrender all your wives and children to the Casdites, and you yourself shall not escape from their hand, but be taken by the hand of the sovereign of Babel, and the city shall be burned with fire. Then Zidkiyahu said to Yirmeyahu, Let no one know of these words, and you shall not die. But if the heads hear that I have spoken with you, and they come to you and say to you, Declare to us now what you have said to the sovereign, and also what the sovereign said to you. Do not hide it from us, and we do not put you to death. Then you shall say to them, I presented my petition before the sovereign, not to send me back to the house of Jonathan to die there. And all the heads came to Yirmeyahu and asked him, and he informed them according to all these words that the sovereign had commanded. And they said no more to him, for the matter was not heard. So Yirmeyahu remained in the court of the guard until the day that Jerusalem was taken. And he was when Jerusalem was taken.